So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yuefeng, and today I'm glad to be here to present our work, Diffence, Fencing Membership Privacy with Diffusion Models. This is a joint work with Ali and my advisor Amir, all from UMass Amherst. So first, let's talk about what membership inference attacks, or MIAs, are. So MIAs ask a simple question. Given a sample, say, an image of a dog, the attacker wants to know whether or not the sample was part of the training set of a specific target model. And why should we care about MIAs? There can be many reasons. For example, the success of MIAs could lead to serious privacy leakage, and moreover, previous work have shown that MIAs could be stepping stones for stronger attacks, such as data extraction attacks against generative models. And there are many work done on defending against MIAs. Before introducing them, I would like to do a quick review on the machine learning pipelines. We know to train a machine learning model, first we need to collect a bunch of training samples, and we also need to initialize the model. Then we can train our initialized model on this training data using some training algorithms and get a final trained model. And once the model is trained, we can send new samples to the model and get the predictions during inference time. And all the existing MIA defenses are deployed at these two stages. So for example, to defend against MIAs, previous work have proposed various privacy-preserving training algorithms to, such as ADV-RG or DPSGD, to reduce the model's memorization of its training data during training time. And we call these defenses training phase defenses. And another line of work tries to modify the model's predictions such that the attacker cannot easily differentiate members from non-members by looking at these final predictions. And these defenses work at post-inference phase. After reviewing existing MIA defenses, we found that they are facing a few limitations. So for example, all the training phase defenses require retraining, meaning that you cannot protect a model that is already trained. You will have to retrain it, which can be costly, especially when the model is large. And also, some of the defenses require additional data as references, which may not be available in real-world scenarios. And also, although existing defenses can reduce MIA attack performance to some extent, but there is still room for improvement in terms of privacy and utility trade-off. So in this work, we proposed a new type of defense called Diffence. It does not require retraining, and additional data is optional, meaning that if you have additional data, it can help, but our defense is still effective even without it. And also, our defense can significantly enhance the privacy and utility trade-off, as we will show later. So now I would like to give a high-level overview on our method. So unlike training phase defenses, which modify the model itself, or post-inference phase defenses, which modify the model's prediction, we actually modify the input samples before sending them to the target model. Or concretely, we use a diffusion model to reconstruct the original images, and we send the reconstructed images to the target model instead. And the intuition is that in this way, the model will never encounter samples that are exact replicas of those they have seen during training. and this reduce the differences between member inputs and non-member inputs. So all of this work at pre-inference phase, so it can be directly applied to existing models. It does not require retraining, and more importantly, it is plug and play, meaning that you can even combine this method with other existing defenses, such as training phase defense. For example, you can first train your model with some privacy preserving algorithms like DPSGD or Selena, and then during inference time you can deploy our method, and this will further enhance the privacy and utility trade-off, as we will show later. And similarly, our method can also be integrated with post-inference phase defense, such as memguard. And now let's take a closer look at how Diffence works. So instead of generating a single image, we actually generate multiple images and select the one that suits our purpose the best. And the reason is that there's always some randomness in sample generation using diffusion models, and we found this stochastic nature sometimes will lead to model accuracy degradation, and we want to mitigate this. And also, generating multiple images will allow us to do informed selection, which can further improve the Diffence performance. So as for the sample selection, we will select the sample which has the same predict label as that of the original image. In other words, we want its predicted label match the original sample, and this will allow us to make sure that there is no model accuracy loss. And also, we want the selected sample, the predicted logic of the selected sample to fall within a pre-computed range. In other words, by forcing the predicted logics of all the samples to fall within the same range, we can further reduce the differences between the prediction of members and that of non-members. And this range is calculated based on the defender's knowledge. And here we define 3 scenarios. In scenario 1, we assume the defender knows some members and non-members, so they can use these samples as references to calculate this range. And in scenario 2, we assume the defender only knows some members. And in scenario 3, we assume the defender has no knowledge of the membership of any samples. I won't delve into too many details here, but I encourage you to check out our papers if you are interested. So we evaluated our method on 5 different datasets across 4 model architectures, and we utilized 6 different attacks and report the highest attack performance as a measurement of the privacy leakage. We also compared our method to 6 state-of-the-art defenses. And here are the key results. This table reports the average attack AUC across different datasets on a ResNet model. And as you can see, our method can enhance membership privacy for both undefended model and model defended with other methods. So for example, the attack AUC against an undefended model is 79%. And if you retrain the model with Selena, which is one of the state-of-the-art training phase defenses, the attack AUC will drop to 62%. And after applying our method, the attack AUC will further drop to 56%, which is the new state-of-the-art. And also, as you can observe, our method is most effective in scenario 1, where the attacker know some members and non-members, but it is still effective even when the attacker has no knowledge about the membership of any samples. And these plots shows the impact of our method on the privacy and utility trade-off across different settings. So the x-axis represents the model accuracy gap compared to an undefended model, indicating model utility, and the y-axis represents attack AUC and attack accuracy, indicating privacy leakage. So ideally, we want high model utility and low privacy leakage. In other words, we want the points to be as closer to the right bottom as possible. So the right points represents the original privacy and utility trade-off of different models, and the blue ones shows the result after applying our method. As you can see, our method significantly enhanced the privacy and utility trade-off, pushing all the points towards a more ideal defense. Besides reporting attack AUC and accuracy, we also report attack true positive rate under a low false positive rate, and the results show a similar trend. To summarize, existing MI defenses are either training phase defenses or post-inference phase defenses. And in this work, we proposed a new defense paradigm which operates at pre-inference stage. Our method can be seamlessly integrated with our existing defenses in a plug-and-play manner without the need of retraining. And it is also effective and lossless. Our paper and code are available online. Yeah, that's my talk. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Any questions from the audience? Feel free to step up here.
Okay, hi, thanks for the presentation. So, in my understanding, your defense is kind of similar to trying to do some augmentation of the data so that the model would not see the exact data that was used for training, but then in a similar way that data augmentation can lead to high privacy leakage. So I'm wondering if you can comment a bit on how an adapter attacker may exploit this defense here to break it somehow in the future.
So in our evaluation, we assume the attacker already knows how we deploy our defenses. So it can directly use the sample after our diffusion process to train their attack models. So, but in our evaluation, you can see that our defenses can still reach a good performance. So, so in the future, I think. Although the attacker knows how our defense is deployed, it still work. So I would assume that the attacker will have to come up with stronger attacks to break this.
Okay, sure, thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions? I have one question related to the sample selection. So I think you said something about like getting a couple of samples and choose the one that has the same label. So is there any requirement for the diffusion model for that? Is that like pretty easy? Like, you know, out of say like 10 samples, you can definitely find a couple, or how difficult is that?
Yes, almost in all the cases, there's always a sample that has the same label as the original sample, so it's not difficult to find one.
Okay, sounds pretty promising. Thank you so much. Let's give the speaker another round of applause.